Alright, so initially I wanted to make a video about my impression for the live stream, and I think I will do that probably on Monday. But there's just something I gotta get off my chest because it's something I've been talking about probably all morning if you watched my stream this morning and in my Discord for the past like hour now. So I figured we might as well make a video out of this. Now, spoiler alert, I'm just gonna say this right now. No hate to Amagi. Amagi carrier version does deserve a UR version, yes, just not on this event. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Now, that being said, let's get right into this video discussion. So, what do I truly do think about this event? I think this event was a missed opportunity to release Yamato. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know a lot of people are upset, but I know a lot of people are also thinking like, oh, Kimo, they have to save Yamato for the absolute last banner ever, or they're gonna go through some whatchamacallit, whatever. I'm gonna stop you right now and say that's false, and that is a bad way of thinking about it for this game. So there's a lot of topics I want to go through, so let's go at it one at a time. The first argument is releasing Yamato is going to make this game dead. Now, let me ask you guys one thing. What other gacha game out there puts all their eggs into one basket for one character? As far as I'm aware, none. Like, every game has their very popular mainstream character, and even then, they eventually do come out. Like, Grand Blue Fantasy has, I don't know, Sandalphon has Lucilius, Beelzebub, those characters eventually came out. Arknights, I think a couple of the evil guys became characters eventually. Like, it's gonna come out eventually. Like, and I'm pretty sure at this point some of them already came out. So it's like there's no waiting there. Blue Archive has like Rio, but I'll tell you guys right now, if Rio ever came out in Blue Archive, it's still gonna continue. Like, all their eggs are not in that one Rio basket to the point where, oh shit, if Rio comes out, it's over, this game is dead or whatever. That's not true, because this game has a lot of good characters that are strong, if not stronger than Ryu in terms of popularity, so the game can always stand no matter what. So, I'm going to ask you guys this. Why does everyone think that at the moment Yamato comes out, the game has to be dead? I'm not sure if that's what the devs think. Like, I'm not sure if they're thinking that if the moment they release Yamato, the game is going to die. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they have other reasons, but a lot of people do think that the moment Yamato comes out, the game is dead. No, because no other game puts all their eggs into one basket for a character. That defeats the purpose, and that's horrible game design in general. So, going to what I was saying, Yamato is a character that has been awaited for a very, very long time, if not to the beginning of the game's release, 2017. It's been long awaited. We are about 7 years into this game's lifespan now. Compared to most gacha games, that is very, very good. And yet, we still don't have Yamato for some reason. Why is that? What's taking them so long to the point where Yamato can't come out? Like, before this, we got Musashi, another hot character that was long awaited. Bismarck came out early, the SSR version, and even then got a revamped version, Bismarck 2. Like, we have two versions of Bismarck already, but Yamato is just like, nah, I don't want to come out right now. Why is that? Let's go through all the scenarios here. Releasing Yamato, once again, is going to increase revenue for the game for this month, and probably next month as well too, because it carries over, because a lot of the game's popularity is based off of UR events. So if you have a really good UR event, then that means your game is going to be very, very popular. So probably revenue for October is going to be really good as well too. So you have Azur Pamelia, a game that was announced earlier this year, and it's probably going to have like some beta testing or whatever sometime next year. Now, don't you want your game to have a really good start and not flop at the beginning with all the lag and disconnects and just bad overall like launch date, like Wuthering Waves? Don't you want a better scenario than that? If so, why not make it so you have a really good startup, which involves having no lag, no problems, all that stuff. If that's the case, you want to put more emphasis on the game having a good launch, meaning you're going to have more, you need more investments for the game to be really good quality. Now, I'm not sure where Manjuu stands right now in the development of Azure Premilia, but if they are lacking funds right now, shouldn't this be the time to release Yamato as a character so that you know you're going to like have the revenue to support Azure Premilia? Like, this isn't the first time a game does this. Side Games does the same thing as well too. Side Games uses games like Princess Connect and Grand Blue Fantasy to fund their mega revenue horse, like literal horse, Uma Musume. They do that too. So why not just have a really strong banner going into the end of 2024 so you have a lot of revenue to use to back up Azure Premilia to have a really good launch. Therefore, you have two strong games going out right now and not one being like super laggy for whatever reason. Right? There's no issues here. And another thing is that Yamato being released at the end of the game's lifespan is a terrible marketing play. I'll keep saying this over and over again. Think about it. Why would you release the one character that is going to make you a lot of money at the very end of the game's lifespan? That makes no sense at all. Azure Lane is going to keep diminishing in player count and revenue because that's just how old games are. So why wait until the very last moment to do that and not just do it right now? And if you want to keep the character relevant, you can just release more skins. Simple as that. Like a good example is New Jersey, right? A lot of people think if they release Yamato now, she's just going to get power creeped and then no one's going to like her. Look at New Jersey. New Jersey's been out for like 3 years now. She's been power creeped by like 1 billion battleships. And yet, she's still a very popular character in this game. A lot of personality, a lot of good skins. You can keep a character relevant simply by giving them the support they need in the game. Through skins, a lot of interactions, merchandise, you can keep a lot of characters relevant simply by having them be relevant in like the other aspects of the game. So if you want Yamato, like Yamato has to be the last ship because she's omega powerful, whatever. That's a terrible, terrible mindset to have for a game. Terrible. Like, think about it. You release Yamato now. It's year 7. You release a skin. Boom. You got gacha revenue, skin revenue, and then 2025, you release yet another Yamato skin. Boom. You got more skins going on. You want to release a Yamato shirt, a Yamato doll, a Yamato wallpaper, a Yamato mouse pad for some reason, because Musashi has one. Now you have all these other merchandise that's building on top of the revenue of a Yamato initially coming out versus, let's say this game dies in 3 more years and you release Yamato on year number 10. All your revenue is stacked onto just one event banner and maybe the skins for just that character, and then the game dies. That makes no sense at all. So why are you going to stack all your beliefs or whatever into the end of the game's lifespan? That makes no sense. I'm not shitting on Manjuu for this. I'm just saying, like, why does a lot of people think just because Yamato is a very popular and like probably like the main flagship of Japan, she has to be omega strong, never power creeped, and she has to come at the very last stage of the game's lifespan? That's horrible. That's a terrible mindset to have, especially for business. So that's another thing. And again, let's go back to the Soyuz incident. If you guys don't know, Soyuz had one of the lowest reception when it came to popularity for UR ships, even though she was teased for 3 years now. Like, barely anyone spent money that month, even though it was a UR event. One of the lowest receptions like ever, next to like Kronstadt. And guess what? 3 months later, she got power creeped by a French ship that no one knows of. And now more people likes Alsace more than Soyuz now. Isn't that kind of funny? Like, more people remembers Alsace, a ship that just came out like that week, got more fame and more popularity than Soyuz has, even though she's been teased multiple times across 3 or so years now. And now no one even knows about her. The only reason people know about her now is because Nahimov, the PR7 carrier, because Soyuz is required to make her really good. It's weird, isn't it? So Excuse me for a second. The longer you wait for a character to be released, this kind of incident could happen again. Imagine Yamato coming out and then, oops, we just forget about her. I don't care about Yamato anymore. We have all these other ships in the game. That could be the same thing here. Now, I probably doubt it because Yamato is very popular, but that could happen. That's another thing to consider. So, like, power creep doesn't matter. Like, Yamato is going to get power creep no matter what. Like, I don't expect Yamato to be the hardest hitting ship in the game. Like, she shouldn't be like best buffer, best damage dealer, best all that stuff. She shouldn't. She should be a good ship, yes, but she shouldn't be like an all-star powerhouse that everyone thinks she has to be. No, she doesn't. She just has to exist. And as of right now, she doesn't even exist. Like, we got 2 out of the 3 Yamato ships. There's like 2 more paper ones, but they'll probably save that for another like next year or something like that. And there's still no Yamato yet. Like, what's going on here, right? And another thing is going back to what I was saying about the ships or whatever. Like, Japan really loves doing Japanese Sakura Empire events on Japanese anniversary, right? Another thing they are pressured to do right now is to have one IJN event every single year for JP anniversary. This is also kind of bad because, again, Japan is not like America. They don't have a stacked out amount of ships, even paper ones, compared to America does. And America barely gets any events compared to like KMS, IJN, for whatever reason, even though they have like a billion other ships they can bring out to the table for the game itself. So when you're forced to do one ultra rare ship every single year for a faction that doesn't have that much to offer aside from fake ones as well too, what are you gonna do? You're gonna run out eventually, right? Like, they shouldn't do an IJN event every single year, mainly because, oh, Japan is like the best server for revenue, whatever. I'm gonna show you guys something. This was July 2025 revenue for the month. Now check this out, okay, guys. Chinese Azure Lane, 1.9 mil. Japanese Azure Lane, 1.5 mil. Global Azure Lane, 1.4 mil. Now, here's another thing as well, too. Here was the prior month revenue right here. Look at this. Japan Azure Lane, 1 mil. Global Azure Lane, 1.1 mil. So, what's this Japanese favoritism? What's this about Japan, like, giving Manjuu Yostar the most money? That's horseshit. Look at this revenue right here. Maybe 2 years ago that was true, but not anymore. Japanese players have moved on to other gacha games like Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Blue Archive, Nikkei. There's a lot of candidates now for gacha games in Japan, and that it's not just Azure Lane. It's equalized now. So, again, I know they want to have Japanese events on Japanese anniversary, but you don't have to. By doing this, you're not forced to make a new IJN UR ship every single year, and you can put in more USS ships, you can put in other factions. This gives you more opportunity to split up the Japanese ships across like multiple years of this game's lifespan. Like, going through the pattern, we had Shinano, Shimakaze, Musashi. That's 2 out of the 3 Yamato ships already. Then Unzen came out. Oh, it's probably going to be Yamato this year. And then we get Amagi 2. Now, Amagi 2, don't get me wrong, deserves to be an ultra rare ship, yes, but just not for this event. This event was set up so Yamato could be the spotlight for this faction, for this event. The venue of the live stream was at an aquarium. They did a 3-day like live stream. They usually do like that same amount, but this time like they had everything like set up properly or whatever. And at aquarium, and all that just to be like, hey, let's release Amagi 2. And that same Amagi 2 got just as much likes as the Belfast skin. If Yamato was in place of Amagi 2, I can assure you right now, Yamato would not lose to a nip slip skin in terms of likes and retweets on Twitter. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. She wouldn't. So, why did it have to be Amagi 2 this year? Think about it. It could have been Amagi 2 next year, Yamato this year. And don't tell me, oh, because Yamato has to be super powerful, and if she comes out now, she's going to get power creep. There's other ways to make ships powerful in this game without having to be like, we got to make this power creep or whatever. Nagato is still relevant. There's a lot of ways to keep a ship like relevant. It's just if the only reason you fear a ship being power creeped is because you have terrible game balancing in your game design. That's the only reason. Like, look at New Jersey. New Jersey on paper was really, really powerful on release. And now we've gone through like 3 or 4 years of power creep now. No one even uses her in the main fleet anymore unless you have nothing else to use. So again, you can keep a ship relevant. You need good game design. And even if you do power creep that ship, they can still remain popular. New Jersey's the best example of that. So yeah, I think that's most of everything I want to say. There's also competitors as well too. Like you can't keep like playing it safe all these years of like not releasing Yamato because look, Brown Dust 2 is on the rise right now. Snowbreak is on the rise right now. And these games also have a lot of loot potential. That's going to take over the Azur Lane community in terms of lootness. You can't just bank on playing it safe every single year. You got to release it eventually. Like even Kantai Collection didn't wait this long to release Yamato. So why does it take 7 years to release one ship? It makes no sense to me. Absolute no sense at all. I asked this in my Discord, and I'll ask it to you guys as well too, the people that are watching this video. Name me one good reason as to why Yamato shouldn't have came out this year. Azure Promelia is on the horizon. Competitors such as Brown Dust 2, Snowbreak, and Leviathans right now like Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Blue Archive, Nikkei are taking over the community in gacha games. Yes, Azure Lane does have a dedicated community, but that dedicated community is sheds. You can't survive on the same player base long term. It starts dwindling. Even if it's very slowly, it does dwindle. You gotta start getting in new players. And Amagi 2, even though she's a UR ship, you could release Yamato. Or even better yet, someone said this in my Discord. You do double UR, Yamato and Amagi 2. That would have been a crazy event. That event would have put Azure Lane probably in the 4 to 5 millions of that month. I kid you not. Amagi 2, I'm expecting like 3 mil right here for revenue. If they did Yamato and Amagi 2, that would have been crazy. But they just chose to stick with Amagi 2. Not even a UR gear or whatever reason. So yeah. Name me one good reason as to why Yamato shouldn't be released this year. Because there is no good reason. Whether it's because of power creep, whether it's because of fame, whether it's because of revenue, being like scared or whatever, there is no good reason anyone can give me as to why Yamato shouldn't come out on this year's anniversary. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. 18-minute video. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. I'll see you guys next video. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'm out of here. Peace out.